program is open to students from all disciplines and all areas of concentration and majors. It's purposefully built so that we can find internships that work with your areas of interest, whether they're curricular or extracurricular or career preparation. It's also built to accommodate the possibility of having 1 or 2 credits from this program count toward your major or minor. The goal is to get as many different disciplines working together to understand what structures this sort of unique patchwork of private land, public land, conservation, recreation, mining, logging. So we've purposely built this program to allow for students of many different interests and many different areas to come together.
I used to drive through here a lot and didn't know anything about it. Janelle said she was starting a program here. Then she said there might be an opportunity with the public radio station that broadcasts here. And I thought, okay, cool, I get to live in the mountains and do broadcast journalism, which is something I've always wanted to pursue. So the two came together in a really neat way, and now I'm here.
And Janelle came into one of my English classes and talked about this program, and I had seen posters around and stuff. I didn't really know exactly if it was right for me, but when she started talking, I was like, oh my gosh, this sounds perfect. I didn't need to be an environmental science major or have any background with spending time in the Adirondacks. This was my opportunity to get acquainted with the place, and that's exactly what I'm doing.
I love doing stuff outside and hiking, and so I've been trying to do that as much as I can, and there's a ton of it up here, but there's also plenty of other things, and people have been going to Burlington or farming all the time or enjoying Saranac Lake and Lake Placid. There's a lot to do in the Adirondacks.
Yeah, I haven't been hiking once, I like that other people like hiking. Yeah, so I don't think you necessarily need to be very outdoorsy to like it up here.
The students do participate in an internship. It's a pretty intensive internship. Most students do more than one. Students are doing right now up to 4. And those internships work with vegetable farms, dairy farms, livestock farms. They work with cultural venues such as the Lake Placid Center for the Arts. They work with North Country Public Radio. They work with North Country Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals. They also work for conservation organizations such as the Nature Conservancy and the Wildlands Network. The students are working very hard in all of those venues on specific projects that those venues need help with. And so we're contributing to the life of the park through these internships while the students are getting both experiential learning and career preparation, or just finding out what it is they like or don't like to do.
My partner and I, Alex, he's back in the distance there, bought this farm 3 years ago, where it's a super tiny little land base, 22 acres here in the Adirondack Mountains. You can see the J Range in the distance. And we milk cows. We have 11 brown Swiss cows that we milk, and we sell their milk raw from our farm store, and we also make 3 different cheeses here. Farming for us is the most satisfying and fulfilling thing that we could think to do, and we love sharing that with young people. And even if the students that we host here don't go on to farm themselves, we love just sharing that passion with them and just showing them. We give them complete access to the operation and let them see how we're doing everything, and really let them ask whatever questions they want of us. And we hope that leads them to, in their lives, make good choices with their consumption and, eat good food and know where they get it from.
Well, I think especially for me, something that I had really wanted to do for a long time was have experience working on farms. So being able to do this and, I don't know, have it be a part of just my education, but then it's a class is that, I don't know, I'm expected to go out and work on a farm is really amazing to me, because it's been something I've really wanted to do for a long time.
The internships are my favorite part because they're so different from what you would be able to do at a typical Hamilton semester. I do 4 internships. I work at 3 farms and a local library. And at the library I get to work with books written by local writers, and I'm putting them in a catalog for the archives so that in the future people who are researching local history or local people can easily find that online. And at my farms I do lots of work with livestock, so I've milked cows, I've made cheese, I've chased pigs out of an orchard. always varied, always fun. To be here and be working on that is really solidified my interest. Yeah, I don't know. I can't imagine doing anything else at this point.
Sometimes we bring speakers here to our program site, such as former presidents of the APA, famous painters, photographers, social activists, conservationists, etc. And then we also go out into the park and go to various sites like the Tahoe Mine. We'll go to the top of Whiteface. We'll take various field trips around so that we can sort of understand all the different facets that make up this park.
Yes, we're new here and in some sense we're outsiders, but we live here and we have a stake in this place. And I think that the speakers we've heard like to be candid about their jobs and what's really going on here.
Having Don Wynn here, the artist, was so cool. Like having someone who's just so talented and so prolific come and speak to me in my home was insane, because I've done things. I'm an art major, so obviously I've gone on studio tours in New York City. I've done like listening to the art talk, like, you know, artists come and talk at school, but it was like nothing like having, I don't know, like just having an artist in your house, like talking to you about his art. It was really, really interesting.
I kind of like living in a small group. I think that's one of the things I was most nervous about coming in, because I'd never done it before, but I think having only 9 people means that we all spend a lot of time with each other, and was overwhelming for the first couple of days, but it's gotten to the point where I sort of thrive in that kind of environment now. And you come home, like I'll come home at the end of a long day after being gone and hadn't seen anyone that day, and they'll say, oh, like I haven't seen you in so long, and it was a day. It's really nice. It sounds so cheesy, but we are sort of codependent at this point.
I was on the phone with my dad the other day and he heard Annie playing piano, and I told him we were sitting by the fire in the main house, and he said, oh gosh, it sounds like a movie. And sometimes it really does feel like that, you know, it's like just a bunch of friends.
When you're looking at your internships, I would say choose a variety. Don't be like, I'm really interested in this one thing and make all your internships that one thing, because you have the opportunity to try a bunch of different things. Like, say you're interested in farming, like there are vegetables, dairies, livestock. Try everything. It's worth it.
Yeah.
Do it. do it. Apply. Don't let any reservations that you have hold you back, because I don't know how to elaborate on that. Just like if you're worried that like you can't get something here, or I don't know. I think that like everything you could possibly need is here, you know? And if you can't find it, you probably don't need it.